yeah. Stephen A., is that how you do it? The yeah. You got to jump up. You got to get a little air on your ground. Now, they asked me for a top 5 list. Now, first I was like, they got to be asking me for a top 5 dentists, oral surgeons in the area, because Stephen A., I don't know where he's been. How long does it take to get your jaw and everything reconfigured to come back in and do your own Stephen A.'s list? But nonetheless, I'm here, and I'm here to give you a better list than you've ever seen. And of course, you know I got to look good while I'm doing it. So let's get this thing started. Let's start at number 5. We're talking about power ranking these teams and who the best in the NFL is. I'm going with the L.A. Rams. Now listen. Don't be a prisoner of the moment. Just because they lost last night, don't go punch your favorite team and say they don't have a chance in the playoffs once it starts. They have Matthew Stafford. They have Sean McVay, one of the best coaches in the NFL. Hey, mind you, last night, no Devontae Adams, missing 2 linemen up front. Quentin Lake, DB, should be back soon. Have some belief in these LA Rams that they can go on a run and still do some things. That's my number 5 team. It only gets better from here. All right, let's move on to number 4. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. Have you seen Brock Purdy since he has returned? Yes, I know he threw a few interceptions against the Panthers. That was a little while ago. Have you watched him these last 2 times on primetime? In the last 3 weeks, 13 total touchdowns. Had me singing, I'm a believer in Brock Purdy right now because he is doing the damn thing. And it doesn't matter if George Kittle is out there or not. Doesn't matter if Trent Williams is out there or not. Brock Purdy is finding a way to win games. Now, I know they're allergic to defense. They don't do that over there in San Francisco. Too many guys are injured, but they're finding a way to win games. I'm going to go like Mad Dog and go all up in the camera to convince you that the 49ers are one of the best 5 teams in the NFL. So for my number 3 team, a lot of people, they don't think they know about this team. We're going to Duval. Liam Cohen, the first-year head coach, already has locked up the division, possibly after this week. You just have to win against the Tennessee Titans. And Trevor Lawrence has been unbelievable this season. The last 6 games, 19 total touchdowns, first in the NFL. Darren Orlovsky, thanks for that tweet. Saw you say that. Trevor Lawrence is going to lead this team, and they have a scrappy defense that comes away with turnovers and wins games. For my number 2 teams, you guys know if I'm doing an A-list, it gotta have the New England Patriots on it. Drake May. He is going to be the MVP of this season, so you know his team has to be in the top 5. Now, don't give me that bull crap about we don't know because their strength of schedule, they haven't played anyone. When they put bad teams on your schedule and you keep blowing them out, then have some belief in the team. They're going to get healthier on the defensive side of the ball, but with our TikTok wife baking you some goods, they are a really good football team. For my number 1 team, I'm going out to the West. The Seattle Seahawks. That's who I'm rolling with. When you have one of the best defenses in the NFL, the best one, you get to be the number 1 ranked team. Sam Darnold, it's time to become the boogeyman. Put the ghost behind you. Saturday night, you have a chance. Prime time, win that game, and you're going to have everybody saying you're the guy. That is my top 5. Tell me how good it was.
Is this the top 5 NFC West list or the top 5 teams in the NFL?
I can't help who's playing good.
Denver Broncos are 13-3.
No Texans, no Broncos, no Bears.
How many games you got to lose to the NFC South to fall off this list, Rams? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, how if they had lost to the Saints as well as the Falcons and Panthers, would that have done it?
It's a very rare occasion when the number 1 should be on the list at all. And the Texans haven't lost pretty much since Halloween.
That's what I'm saying.
Texans haven't lost since Halloween.
They should be up there somewhere. And again, I just can't. I love the Rams too. I think they have a really big shot. You just lost to the Falcons.
I'll tell you what, I was ready to come and argue Jaguars, and I was so excited to see you put them 3. I think they're doing
So I did something
awesome
good. That's the only good thing on
the list. The Broncos have been like the best team all year.
And the Bears were 1 play away from beating this team on the road, and they had the flu running through their locker room.
2 and 3 is make the almost list down here.
I just feel like we could have
for my top 10.
Okay, if we could rearrange the list, what would we do here? What would we do? We would add the Broncos where? Where would you put the Broncos? Graz?
Maybe 1.
Maybe 1. Would we drop the Seahawks to 5?
I don't know. I like the Seahawks.
4. 1?
Not 1. I would put the Broncos 1.
These up.
I put Broncos, Seahawks, Patriots,
Jaguars.
Texans got to be on the list.
Texans have to be on the list.
Go Bears.
Bears, Texans. We'll knock the Rams and the Seahawks down. You're almost.
I like the list the way it is.
The list is okay,
That's
and
just
the
me.
list around here is fluid. Okay,
always.
it's all right. It's all right.
Check back next week.
We'll check back next week. It's not bad though. It's not bad. All right, one game
of Week 17. So most of these teams are going to be those going to the postseason. Mine from 5 to 1 were the Patriots, Broncos, Seahawks, 49ers, and Jaguars. Myron, where are we starting?
Number 5.
We're going to start with Denver. I think that defense, just the style of defense, I think they can put opposing quarterbacks kind of in the phone booth and just kind of beat them up. You've seen them do that multiple times. And anytime you can make an opposing quarterback unsteady, uncomfortable, that puts you in a great position. Bo Nix not playing great against Kansas City, completing less than 60% of his passes against Jacksonville the week prior, has given me a little bit of hesitation in terms of what they may be able to do. But I think Denver is right up there with all the contenders on this list.
Are you worried about what you've seen from them the last 2 games? Because Jacksonville spanked them. That wasn't a close loss for the Denver Broncos. That was a 2-score game for most of that game. And then it took a comeback effort against a third-string quarterback in Kansas City for them to walk away winners on Christmas Day. You heard, I have them as a top 5 team on my list, but that's the part that worries me, how they've been not the Denver of late, especially on defense, down these final couple games.
They're flawed, Courtney, but I don't know if there's a team in this league in the playoff picture that's not. So I think they're in the same category.
Okay.
Number 4.
Give me Seattle. The Seahawks. Again, we're going to keep talking about defense, but this is the kind of defense that can shut you down. This is the kind of defensive unit under Mike McDonald that can really just alter a game. I think takeaways in the playoffs are so important, and this is a playmaking defense. Well, I have, again, a little bit of hesitation. Sam Darnold, 4 picks in his last 4 games. We remember how he finished last year with the Minnesota Vikings. I think he has done everything, and maybe even more than what was expected, Courtney. But I also know what can happen to Sam Darnold in those pressure situations when he gets a little tight. That's why they're at 4 for me and not higher.
Yeah. He does tend to turn into a pumpkin. Some of those big throws that are bad decision throws, as we saw last year in the playoffs. I think everybody just holds their breath and waiting to see if that happens. It almost happened in that big overtime game that they had 2 weeks ago with the Los Angeles Rams. But they have an advantage right now for the NFC's 1 seed. You win that game this weekend against the San Francisco 49ers. You have a first-round bye, multiple home games potentially. But this defense is what's been carrying them, regardless of what you get from Sam Darnold. They're second in the NFL in defensive EPA per play, and they're a well-balanced team. Like we've been saying that about the Rams. I feel like that baton can now be passed over to Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. We're doing Unsportsmanlike's Power Rankings, brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right. Next.
Number 3.
Give me New England. The criticism to me doesn't make sense. When you talk about the schedule, what are you supposed to do about that? This isn't an SEC team scheduling an FCS team in a bye game. You play the teams in front of you. Where I think you have to have confidence in New England is they have 6 double-digit wins against that schedule. So they've just had some dominant performances. We're talking about the Steelers losing to Cleveland and the Rams losing to the Falcons. The Patriots have beat up on a lot of the teams in that same category. Drake May, to me, could be the MVP. Mike Vrabel has really changed the culture, and I just don't think they have a ton of weaknesses other than the inexperience of a second-year quarterback who could be the MVP of this league, Courtney.
To me, the Baltimore game 2 weeks ago was what solidified them for me as a top 3 team in the NFL going into the playoffs. They come back playing lights out football in the fourth quarter. And some coaching decisions, why Derrick Henry was not on the field, all of that aside, they handled business. Drake May had a career day at that point until then he upped the ante on himself and had a career day last week in dominant fashion against the New York Giants. So I look at that. In the schedule, you can say, there's 3 playoff teams on here between potentially Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Carolina, Tampa Bay, that they've played and that they've won against. And, of course, Buffalo. You can't do anything about your schedule. It's how you handle your schedule, which they've done en route to, a very, very long win streak from week 4 all the way to week 13.
Number 2.
It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, it's not just the 7-game winning streak. The defense, which is kind of that Mariano Rivera, right? They just close games. Not many teams can do that the way that Jacksonville does. You saw that over the weekend. But I think Trevor Lawrence, when people say, Trevor Lawrence has gotten better, I don't know if people are seeing these games, Courtney. They're not the featured game nationally every week, so I think a lot of people maybe haven't had a chance to watch his growth. 1 interception in his last 5 games. Mm-hmm. Like, if you tell me Trevor Lawrence is being protected, Trevor Lawrence is upright, and Trevor Lawrence isn't throwing picks, and you get that Jacksonville defense, it's hard for me to imagine that there's a better team or a more equipped team in the AFC to make a run to the Super Bowl. They have everything, and it looks like Liam Cohen has finally gotten the most out of Trevor Lawrence.
263 yards passing. He threw an interception, no touchdowns last week, but they kept, to me, this speaks to the idea that it's not one player, one side of the ball that wins you games, that can help you go far in the postseason. Their defense kept the Colts on their heels after that game was close in the third quarter and then did not allow them to score in the fourth quarter. They had to bring Riley Leonard in for a last-second shot because Phillip Rivers couldn't throw that far down the field. That was an impressive win. And I know the Colts are a middling team. They started out great. They're not anymore. They've been out of the AFC South picture for a while. But 12 wins in a regular season, the most that Jacksonville's ever had. And yes, most meaning more than the last time they got to the AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles in 2017. It's staggering, and what they've built feels sustainable, not just sustainable for right now, but something that could last throughout the postseason this year.
Number 1.
Yeah, give me the San Francisco 49ers. Courtney, I don't believe that defense wins championships. I think you have to score points to win games. I think we talked a lot about defense. San Francisco doesn't really have it because of all the injuries, but offensively, they can outscore anybody. And to me, in the playoffs, that's what I want. If you give me a great defense and a weak offense versus a weak defense and a great offense, I'll take the latter every time. Brock Purdy may not be a top 5 quarterback, but I think he's the best point guard in the entire NFL. He knows how to put all of his guys in the right spot. Christian McCaffrey in open space. Once George Kittle gets healthy, I don't think there's a quarterback more suited for his offense in the NFL than Brock Purdy is suited for what Kyle Shanahan wants him to do. And you're seeing the results of that. I think this San Francisco team is going to be the toughest out in the entire postseason because of the way they're playing on offense right now. I think the 49ers are the best, most difficult team to deal with in the league heading into Week 18.
We make a lot about their defensive injuries that they have, and it is affecting their pass rush right now. Not having Bosa, not having Fred Warner, it's changed a lot for them and what they're able to do. But think about who and why they don't have